Hey, it's been a long year. I haven't made very many of these videos. I don't like talking about myself. I make a lot of stuff, so I don't. Um, I don't. I make so much stuff that I don't know if creating these videos is really helpful, especially in our current climate. So much crazy shit happening this year. Uh, I don't. I don't know if I can really bring any clarity. I mean, all the things that are happening are happening. Um, but having someone else say the same things that everyone else is saying, I don't know if that helps anyone. So I haven't been saying much this year. Been creating a lot, but that's how I process. You know, um, I got a lot of work coming out. I've made close to like 160 paintings this year. By the end of the year, I'll have 3 albums out. Um, I've done maybe 30 painting time lapses and like 50 bowl of loopies videos or something like that. So I'm constantly working on stuff, constantly working on music, and I paint every day. I wake up, usually at 6 a.m. and start painting and work on different projects, try to pull in commissions all day. It's my first year as a freelance artist, so most of it is trying to network, I guess, which you would, loose term for networking this year because we haven't been able to go outside, or I have a heart condition, so I can't really go hang out with people, even if I don't believe in it. Or, I mean, I do, but I live in Alabama, so there's a lot of people that don't believe that anything is happening. And if you go walking downtown, the bars are filled, the restaurants are filled, people with their masks off, like just fucking. They don't give a shit. And they definitely don't give a shit about old people, and they don't give a shit about sick people, because in capitalism you need constant distractions or else it all falls apart. You know, if people can't get drunk with strangers and pretend that they're friends, then capitalism's not real, and it dissipates into nothingness, because there's the illusion of choice, and the illusion of control, and predatory market. It's just been a long, shitty year that keeps reiterating that over in a bunch of different ways, and that we do live in a predatory market, predatory system, and it's trying to extract wealth from us, extract resources, labor, you know, um, push it up, push up. Labor holds everything up, and it's been a tough year. You know, we canceled $1.7 trillion in taxes for 600 billionaires, but we can't cancel 1.7 in debt for students, for 45 million Americans, because we don't give a shit. The people who have resources can put it where they want to, and that includes in the political infrastructure. A pay to play system, stage play that uh, keeps people from rioting and freaking the fuck out. Um, it gives some kind of illusion that you're involved in the process. Um, right now Donald Trump is denying that the election was real, even though everybody, or not that it wasn't real, is that it was fraudulent, and that people are just adding ballots. In one quote, he said that they were putting out ballots that only had Biden on the ballot. It's crazy. It's batshit insane. We have this coronavirus thing going on, and we have people in there's nurses in El Paso that say they have this thing called the pit, where they just put people in there to die, and they only resuscitate them 3 times before they let them die. Then they have prison labor, people who are in jail or prison basically getting paid $2 an hour to push bodies around because they're afraid the nurses will get sick. Oh yeah, in the pit, the doctors don't go in there because they're afraid the doctors will get sick. So they only let the nurses go in there because I guess they're more expendable than the doctors, And this is in America. It's happening. But it doesn't matter, If things are happening and people pretend they're not happening, then they might as well not be happening because capitalism is an illusion. You have to project what you want onto capitalism, and it will become that. But yeah, okay. So I have an album coming out with Rhea Maya Burkholder, and I'll probably start a podcast with her soon. We've been working on a lot of different projects. We've been working on a lit and art magazine called Fuckery. We just have been busy with a lot of different projects, so it hasn't came out when we wanted it to, which was like a month or so ago. But it's really cool. It's about violence, and it's like giving context to what is violence. Violence is through force removing someone's choice. Police. The prison system, American imperialism, specifically about here in Huntsville and the HPD and Tear Gas Tommy and how they attacked citizens and then lied about it the next day on June 4th. It's a bummer because people I've never been inside of an issue like that before where I saw something happen and then the next day I saw officials lie on camera or lie to journalists and stuff about what had actually happened. And they also used some artwork to, I guess, to prove that there's anti-fascist, anti-government locals and I think the term actually used by the police chief was anti-government sympathizers, which I'm not anti-government, I'm anti-state violence. There's a difference. I don't know how good all the infrastructure that we've created in this country, or how adept or how effective it is. But I know when you have people who are willing to lie to cover their tracks, that's not good. It's often said that people who seek positions of power are usually the exact people that should not have positions of power. When you look at these things as ways to control people, it's a way to control culture, a stopgap between the spread of anti-government philosophies and political theories. If you don't have a choice between the thoughts that you have in your head, then how the fuck are you free in any kind of real way? Nobody's being violent, nobody's hurting anybody. They've been having secret meetings trying to figure out how they could outlaw any kind of protest in the downtown area. But we've had people kind of sneak into these meetings and out people and take notes. And, I guess just to represent the citizen that care about these things. Yeah, so white men with any kind of power in Alabama will bend, break, and dismiss all rules to secure their power. And, they exercise all resources to secure and proliferate the optics and visuals of power. White supremacy, white rule, white cultural dominance, And they reiterate the archaic laws through the longest constitution in the world, the Alabama Constitution. And they'll misquote the Bible. They'll try to convince you that Jesus loved state violence and taxes and immigration laws. And they'll say Jesus hated prostitutes, sinners, dissent, and divergent thought. Anything that sticks out or works to be used against people, They'll use any of their tools, and they'll make up tools to disempower, disenfranchise, and create guilt by association. In the South, white men can use violence on anyone questioning white supremacy, and they often do in a lot of different ways. Through force, they remove choice over and over and over again for anything else to happen. I've been trying to get rid of the Confederate monument for a long ass time. Even raised $20,000 to pay for the fine that Alabama came up with to remove goddamn Confederate monuments. And so they finally did it and just moved it over to the graveyard. But then they put out this report that it cost like $30,000 to move, and they had to pay the fine, so it just cost the city a bunch of money, and it's because of all us leftist people and shit. It's just bullshit. All this bullshit. It's been a very disheartening year. Having a pandemic when we have a government that all it wants to do is extract resources from us, and during an act of God, a pandemic, and most of us can't work here in Huntsville because there's two different classes of people here. There's people who work in service of the defense contracts, and there's people who actually have the defense contracts and work for the companies who have them. So a lot of people have been hurting, and like the government just doesn't give a shit. We got one check, a little $1,200 check, and they dumped about $4 trillion into the market, and it disappeared in 30 minutes. And they don't give a shit about people at all. And when you're a teenager and you're like, yeah, fuck the government, fuck old people, they're just out here trying to kill us. And you feel it, and it seems it's that way. But as you get older, you're like, oh, nah, they're really trying, They're trying really hard. Because they don't care. Laborers are the bottom class. Labor is the only way that anything changes. And they know that power is in labor. So they want to constantly play like a mind game. That what you do doesn't matter, and trying doesn't matter, and that you can't facilitate change against this huge monolith of American culture, American exceptionalism, nationalism, Yeah, it's just been a tough year. Having all the rotten trees bear fruit, police violence, all the time. Someone was killed last night right down the road by Huntsville Police Department. I mean, they haven't released much information about it, but apparently a person was on the roof of Ted's barbecue with a gun, and the cops made a perimeter 5 points, and there's a cop, cop lights were coming through my window, and I don't know. I've never had any problems here in 5 Points. I've never had any dangerous encounters. I walk everywhere I go. I can't imagine it was anything other than someone with mental health issues. There's stories that the person was like naked at one point. Why would you be naked with a gun? And why would a cop shoot a naked person with a gun? Or why would you kill? I don't know. Seems like a mental health call. But supposedly there was a gun involved with the victim, but who knows what the fuck that means and in what context that could be. Yeah. But, yeah, so we're going to have a Lit magazine come out in the next month or so, and also another record, and I have some music coming out for Christmas, so hope y'all enjoy that, and please stay safe and be vigilant about, keeping your mind right. It's been helping that I've came up with like a lot of kind of strict regimens for like creating every day, and working out, and trying to take a walk every day. It's just a long ass walk where I can clear my thoughts. So I've been kind of living in isolation since February, with the exception of hanging out with Rita to work on different projects. Yeah, it's been a lonely, long year, 2020 sucks, and the election didn't make me feel any better because Trump and the whole, Republican fucking they they're just denying reality, and because they have such a strong, weird base, like it's turning into a cult, Trumpism. Um, he can't be wrong and he can't be fallible, because then they'd have to. There's no, there's no room for any other thoughts inside the brain. There's no room for any other ideologies. There's no room for any other thoughts or theories. You have a large group of people who haven't read a book in decades who think they're well informed. You know, uh, it's fucking chaos. It's fucking nuts. But so I have no resolution. I have nothing to make you feel better. I just thought I should like put out another one of these because it's been fucking months. But I don't really have anything good to say. Just been doing what I can, where I can, help who I can. But anyway, I hope y'all are doing okay. Try to keep your mind right. Uh, be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Because a lot of people don't care about kindness. We got to generate that type of energy ourselves. Hope you all have a good day, and thank you. Appreciate it.